Nami's background is a huge mystery for all the One Piece fans. Many of the theories say she is a lost princess. Nami was rescued by an ex-marine officer, Belmere. She even sacrificed her life to raise Nami and Nojiko by paying tax for the both kids, but not for herself. What if Nami was never found by Nojiko nor Belmere? Instead, she was found by a man who is a professional when it comes to rizzing up the kids. Yes, I am talking about the red-haired pirate Shanks. Shanks can be friends with any kid in this world. He was also a mentor for Yuta and a role model for the protagonist Luffy. A stormy night in a village where people were hiding to survive from the winds and water. Even the marine forces which were sent to rescue the people failed to reach the village because of that heavy storm. So, sad thing for Belmere. She couldn't reach Kokoyashi village to save the citizens over there. But it's not the end for Nami and Nojiko. A crew of pirates were stuck in Kokoyashi village due to the storm. And that pirates are the unstoppable red hair pirates. Shanks approaches Nojiko, who is holding a tiny baby in her arms, and asks her, "Where are your parents?" Nojiko explains that she lost her parents and found this small baby on the roadside. Shanks holds that baby and starts to play with her as she is crying. And at the same time, a marine officer arrives over there and starts shooting Shanks, thinking he was a criminal. Shanks got no scope except for leaving that place with his crew along with the baby. They sets a sail to the sea, even in the heavy storms. Later, Nojiko was rescued by Belmere, and here we see her, raising only a single child, and in the future she will be able to pay tax for both of them to Arlong, which means she is still alive in this storyline and leading a happy life with her one and only daughter Nojiko. Coming to the story of Nami, now she has turned 7 years old and still continuing her journey with Shanks. Seeing her excitement on discovering new places and drawing the maps to the places, Shanks gets her a bunch of papers and pens to expand her happiness daily. This shows how close Shanks and Nami got. Nami believes that Shanks is her father and decides to dedicate her whole life with him. In the original series, Shanks did not take Yuta or Luffy to his adventures, but here he sees a potential and a great talent in Nami. So, he made her an assistant navigator for his crew at a very young age. Now, a question for you guys. Would you rather eat the strongest devil fruit in the world, or would you be the most intelligent person in the world, like Dr. Vegapunk? Let me know in the comments below. Coming back, Nami's role in the crew is to mark up and draw maps and sea routes of the places which they have completed exploring. With these experiences, Nami also became a professional, analyzing the weather and sea pressure levels. So, instead of starting her career as a thief, she directly obtains a decent position, and after 15 years being loyal to the red-haired pirates crew, Shanks promoted her as a cashier and navigator. This brought a huge smile on Nami's face as she was getting closer to her goal to draw the entire world map. And if we look into the life of Arlong, he would lead his entire life collecting taxes from innocent citizens. He would never have thought of exploring world and collecting treasures. Lacking Nami's talent in his crew, he would never discover the true talent and be the most useless fisherman ever existed. But someday, I can surely say Luffy would still arrive at Konomi Islands and defeat Arlong to free the citizens, as Luffy would never like to see the sadness in others' faces. And yeah, remembering Luffy, he would appoint some other pirate as a navigator. I hope he doesn't appoint Zoro to that position. And if he does, the Straw Hats would travel around every anime verse and could never return to the world of One Piece. And the name of the anime will be changed from One Piece to The Lost Piece. So, we have to assume that Luffy gave this position to Sanji, because in my opinion, Sanji is the only one who leads his crewmates to safety when Luffy is not around. So, he would be a perfect navigator to choose the journey and make the strategies. And if we take a look in the Straw Hats crew, there will be only one female member, and that will be Nico Robin. This would lead her to a bit of discomfort, because you know, it will be hard for her to open up around 7 men and a raccoon. Coming back to Nami's journey, she would not only develop her intelligence, but also have an ultimate level of combat skills. We see her as a coward in every fight, but now she is a strong and courageous woman. Shanks will teach her the basics of swordsmanship and train her more to unlock haki. Nami's training under Shanks made her a monster when it comes to using haki. Now her haki level is equal to Shanks' haki level, which means she has more haki power than Luffy. This made her fights easier compared to the original series. And also without Zeus and weather manipulation weapons, she is far more stronger than the original version. And to make it clear, Luffy in this timeline does not meet Shanks in his past, which means everything he did until now, he did it without the abilities of his rubber powers. So, the Nika fruit is still not being eaten by anyone. It must still be stored in the treasure chest. So, after seeing the development of Nami, Shanks decides to give her a power-up. Here's the twist. Shanks brings up an old treasure chest and hands it over to Nami. He says, "It's your reward, Nami. You have come so far now. I have stored it for several years, and I think you deserve it." Nami happily takes the treasure box, expecting it would be filled with the golden jewelries. But when she opens it, all she can see is a purple fruit, golden jewelries. But when she opens it, all she can see is a purple fruit, as we all know how much Nami loves money. At first, she decides to sell it and get a huge amount of berries in return. But after some days, the announcement of Ace's execution takes place. The red-haired pirates decide to arrive at Marineford and stop the war. If we look into Shanks' crew, everyone was overpowered. Despite Nami having an equal level amount of haki, but still was lacking something. Her navigation skills alone are not enough to back up Shanks, so she decides to eat the gum-gum fruit instead of selling it. They still couldn't reach Marineford in time because of Kaido. So, we see Ace die in this timeline as well. But here we see some changes in Nami's body. She couldn't control her arms and legs. They were stretching everywhere, having a weird feeling. The Marine Admiral Akainu instantly came to attack Nami, but Shanks blocks his attack and wipes out half of the Marine soldiers over there. He also states that Nami is like his daughter, and no one can touch her when he's around her. This information spreads worldwide, and the higher official Imu identifying the Nika fruit, he places a huge amount of bounty on Nami's head. On the other side, Nami tells Shanks she ate it without informing him, so that she can back him up in the fights at Marineford. Now Nami goes into special training to control her legs and arms. Combining her haki with the rubber abilities, now she is as strong as original series Luffy. We see how important this fruit is for Luffy. We see Nami unlocking only 3 gears of Nika power. To achieve further gears, she needs to fight very strong opponents like Katakuri and Kaido. But you know, having a strong captain like Shanks would never give you an opportunity to fight them, as he will clear the whole ground all by himself. So, Nami is not a person who Joy Boy was waiting for. She totally wasted the potential of the Gum Gum Nika fruit. But still, she is useful for his father figure Shanks to make him a hero for this world. Shanks tells Nami that it's the right time to claim the One Piece. So, Nami figures the exact location with the experience which made Shanks to claim the treasure before anyone else. After Shanks becomes the second Pirate King, he declares a war against the world government. He totally nerfs everyone and shows who the real boss is. We see all the admirals and elders, including Imu, falling apart in the hands of the red-haired pirates. This now gives Shanks the whole authority to run the world. He eliminates all the rules which were in the favor for the celestial dragons and makes every human as equals. So, with Nami, we see Shanks achieving every part of Luffy's achievements. This also shows the importance of Nami and her extraordinary skills for the Straw Hats. On the other side of the timeline, Luffy is now totally dependent on his crewmates. He can't conquer anything by himself. So Luffy in this storyline is nothing but a weakling. Now with an average navigator, Luffy might be late to reach the Laugh Tale, as there are more professionals who could lead their captains to grab their hands on One Piece. So, in this timeline, Luffy's small mistake of appointing a wrong navigator will lead to a huge loss, which will totally destroy his dream life. Now, failing as a pirate king, Luffy would remain single forever and abandon his crew. He lives a life like a depressed guy, an old man who even tells others to give up on their dreams. I think this would be a nightmare for every Luffy fan who is watching the video, but we all know this is just a what-if scenario, which tells us the importance of Nami. And in the original series, we all know that our boy Luffy is ready with his ultimate crewmates, who will be his ultimate backbone in every matter. Hope this video will tell you how a navigator should be in a crew. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more wonderful